All right, who's got the lead? Tim?
Mayor, today, requested to have a special meeting in reference to the sign at, Frank Pate Park. We'll open it up for discussion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to say something, start off tonight with,
Go ahead.
it's my understanding that yesterday at the TDC meeting that it was, discussed about the sign. Some people say that we were pretty much slammed at the meeting. I don't know if we were, if we weren't. And I don't mean that everybody did that. I think there was one or two that probably did. My thoughts is this sign situation has been going on for 6 months. We have come to a compromise. We had a meeting that was gonna be a joint meeting together. I thought maybe we could talk about it then. And personally, I feel like that every time, it's almost like that they're shoving it down our face. I think our attorney, Mr. Tom Gibson, could recognize that on several occasions, we've been told that we're gonna give you a different proposal and basically got the same proposal back. And, unless somebody's got something else, guys, I feel like that we need to, just be more self-sufficient and just take care of the sign situation on our own and, not get any more parties involved. Now, that's just my 2 cents.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I spoke with Jennifer Jenkins yesterday and also David Warner, the chair of the TDC. They didn't get the feeling that we were being attacked, and that's neither here nor there, but I sat there and we kind of put our heads together and said, well, what if we kept control? What if we had control of our own sign? And so we went back to Jennifer and said, what would it cost to add another panel, another digital panel? Right at $5,000, we could have our own sign with our own control. Right below the TDC branding would be the city of Port St. Joe. We could do our own messaging on that section of it. I think that's the compromise. We wanted our own control, and that would give it to us, but they could still utilize that location. It is the best location for marketing in Port St. Joe.
And David, I thought we had that worked out, because I talked to Don earlier in the week, and we talked about a 2-part sign. And, I got 3 calls yesterday from people in the meeting. One of them was one of the board members, and said they absolutely slammed us, over this issue. And, I'll go whatever y'all want to do. I'm not gonna be here, so I'll follow y'all's lead. But I thought we had agreed that we were gonna do the 2-part sign. It's gonna cost a little more money.
Right.
But, then all of a sudden, I get those calls yesterday, so.
I think if that's the deal on the table, if they're willing to work with us in that respect, where we have control over the messaging, if we could do something like this photo that we've got on our desk here, I think it looks great.
I like this better, I'm with you, than what don't you, Rick?
Oh, no question.
That's a great look.
This is something we worked on back 2011, and, my idea is this, if this is just gonna be one digital sign, and I think we had 2 digital signs there, it's gonna be a problem.
I do
It's
too.
gonna
Too
be
confusing.
really, this is one nice digital sign. My idea was this, let's approach them and say, look, we waited this long, let's do something really nice. Let's maybe look at something like this, and we'll pay half and you pay half. We'll control half the minutes, you control half the minutes. It can be on from 6 in the morning till midnight. I don't think it ought to be on past midnight. That's 18 hours. You divide how many placements you can have per hour, blah, blah, blah. So bottom line, if we have 2 messages and we want to run them for our half of the time, we'll just run them over and over. If we don't have anything, let them put something on it. But the idea, and we'd have to get a contract, that, half and half, we each own half of it. I don't care if they control it, as long as and in the agreement, they have to agree that they'll put on there during our time what we request them to put on there.
Well, and I'll say from my conversations with Jennifer, her board is very hard-nosed about the fact that they don't want to commingle. They're trying to do a branding exercise, and they're arguing that the branding that they're putting on that sign is gonna bring more tax revenue to the city than if we were advertising fish fries and things of that nature. I think we still need that, but they want their brand, by itself.
They'll have 9 hours out of every day to do their brand.
And David, I counter with this, we're maxed out now
Yeah,
on
yeah.
people. You know, if you look at what's coming here now, we can't handle hardly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think before,
I could use a few thousand.
but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
When's the TDC cease to be a TDC when we got all the tourists we need? Do we need TDC? But that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah, yeah.
And so please don't print that
no,
down.
Tim.
Please.
That was my headline.
Well, I like to weigh in a little bit now,
That's your
if you
turn,
don't mind.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm kinda upset about this, cause I think in a way, not that they were bashes yesterday, that's not what I meant, but that we were misinformed, I believe, and according to our attorney, we were probably misinformed, that the county TDC could not put stuff on that sign, it was illegal to do. And as I told Mr. Warner yesterday in our conversation, I do not like people going smoking. Tell me the truth. Be straight up with me, that's all I ask. We, the city, do we get any bed tax money? The city. See, I don't know why we don't set up our own TDC for the city, and let's collect bed tax money. Why should we let them take all the money when it's in the city limits? I would like for us sometime maybe let staff go out and see what it would take to start our own TDC.
I'm gonna make a motion to that before the ending of this meeting, that we ask staff to go out for our own TDC.
Board, I mean,
I'm gonna tell you right now, this has left a bad taste in my mouth.
yeah, and I'd say it has nothing to do with, we were bashed yesterday, and it's just from the whole outset, that I don't think we were told the
I
right
mean,
things.
if we do that,
And if she can go to me and show me where it says in the law book that she can't print what she wants to on her own sign, I don't believe she can. And that's what I don't like.
and even if you
Be
can,
straight and honest
Mr.
with
Mayor, you know, then that's a problem for them, not us.
Right. But I cannot put up a sign there and tell our churches, our citizens, and our schools, we can't advertise for you. We can't do it. I think our schools, our churches, our citizens, they deserve things to be advertised. We're city commissioners. I'm the mayor.
Why don't we approach them about the 50-50 idea? What do
Well,
y'all
let me
think
ask
about
you
that?
this,
See
Commissioner
if they
Bissell.
agree.
I'm not for that, and I'm gonna tell you the reason I'm not for it, okay?
Okay.
Who is gonna decide who gets the 9 hours in the morning, 9 hours in the night?
We'll have to be all in an agreement, Rip out.
And do I want them in control of it? No, because I'm gonna tell you, after everything that's going on now, I would not feel comfortable with an agreement with them that our stuff is gonna go on there. The only way I would go for something even close to what we're talking about today, by splitting it up, is if they had a way to set it up and we had a way to set it up. Miss Charlotte, Treese, somebody at City Hall was in charge of our ads and the stuff that we do, not the TDC.
That might be worked
Yet I
out.
don't know, and
That might be worked out, that's what I'm saying.
Right, I
I'd like
don't
to
know.
explore that idea, because I don't want us to go off spending $50,000 on this sign when we might have a way to accomplish it for half
but you
of
know,
that.
here's the thing that was
I
said
thought
to
it was
me.
20,000.
Well, I'm talking about something like this.
Oh, yeah.
All it was 20,000 is that little old tacky looking piece of plastic.
Yeah, but
that
that
they
other thing, is that
sent us right
Kerrigan
there.
Redemption, is that Kerrigan doing that? He
No,
says
that was a
20.
bill from 2011.
Oh, yeah, oh, all right, I thought he was giving us something today.
And let me ask y'all this, okay, here's another thing. If we do this, and we were to go with this deal here, I mean, we're paying half and they're paying half. Well, really, why should we pay half when that's our property? They've got 2 signs right now that are on city property that I doubt are even permitted. The other thing is they say, well, if we wanna promote our own brand to bring more people to Port St. Joe, how much more money are we gonna get? Zero from zero is zero.
I agree with you, Commissioner, and I tell you, our city parks are utilized more, go down and check it out. The Jetty Park, which is Clifford Sims now, is being utilized probably more than any park in the south end. I tell you, we are getting a tremendous amount of people, and I see a lot of people on the walking paths too. Have you, you know?
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, I've had people tell me they were against the walking path and love it today.
You know, and then again, on the city creating its own, Panama City does it. They're not letting the county have all their money. Panama City has their own, am I
I know.
correct?
Yeah, they do.
Not sure how it worked.
And then we can do the same advertising on this thing that the TDC will do for the same people, only do we doing it for the ones that's in the city limits. We won't do it for the ones out of the city limits.
Well, every one of us are city commissioners or the mayor of city of Port St. Joe.
Exactly.
The people of Port St. Joe is why I'm a commissioner, it's why Dave's, it's why we're all commissioners, why you're the mayor. I wanna be able to, when they have something, Little League baseball, the church dinners, what have you. You know, that brings people that
That's our
community.
responsibility.
Exactly.
Nobody else's. It's the city. We need to step up to the plate and take care of what we need to take care of. And like I say, I'd like to see us entertain an idea of letting staff look in to see what it would take to get our own TDC started within the city limits.
Tom, what, you know anything about that?
I don't, today, I don't know, I mean, I know it can be done, but I don't know how to get there, but we can certainly.
Can I
figure
make
that
a
out.
motion, Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion at this time that we, direct staff to get the information needed to form our own tourist development council within the city of Port St. Joe.
All right, I have a motion on the floor from Commissioner Thursby. Do I have a second?
Second for discussion.
Second for discussion with Commissioner McCollum.
And I think, just, I guess, just see what it takes to explore that. I mean, I defer to y'all, I'm not gonna, you know,
It don't matter, you right now,
you know what I'm saying?
you get to vote.
Yep.
As long as you vote for me, you're voting right.
Any other
You know,
discussion?
Yeah, I need to, I hate to get crosswise with the TDC or any governmental agency in the county. Be it county commission, TDC, or any others. Port authority, you know, we need to try to pull in the same direction. If we can get, maybe talk to the TDC about releasing some funds to us for things that we feel benefit both sides. I would like to explore that possibility. I mean, this, motion and vote today is, I know you wanna just explore it, but it still flies in the face of antagonizing the current county TDC. We got a joint county city meeting coming up soon, and, there's a lot of things we can discuss in that meeting. The county controls the TDC, and they can ask the TDC to say, look, you guys are not spending enough money inside the city. We need help. So I would, you know, I think, I don't know, maybe we can explore it without a motion, but, I mean, that's easy enough, but still, I think, it does appear to be antagonistic, and I wanna see first if we can work with them, or they can work with us, let's put it more like that. If they can work with us to resolve this issue and future issues about how the, bed tax money that's collected in the city is spent in the city.
And Commissioner Brissett, I agree with you, in part on that. And I've been a proponent of dialogue with the county, you know, since I've been on this board, more than anybody. And I thought we had this resolved, and she kept coming back with the same proposal every time. No compromise. And I spoke to Don. I said, Don, you know, I thought we had it resolved. And, you know, I don't think for a minute that any of our directors of any of our departments would get in a public meeting and bash anybody on the county, like we were.
Well, we
I
don't
mean, you
know
know,
that
like-
until you've heard the tape of the
Yeah.
meeting, or you were there, third, fourth-hand information, or even second-hand is, I like to know exactly what was said, so. Maybe the person there thought they were doing it, I'm not saying they weren't, but I'm saying until I heard the tape, I'm not gonna make anything about what they said.
I had a conversation with Jeremy this afternoon, and through the course of this, we've had several conversations where we thought we knew what was fixing to happen, but it turned out we didn't.
Right.
But, what he had suggested, or what he and Don had been talking about, was possibly putting this issue on our joint meeting agenda and maybe moving the TDC a little bit out of the loop on making a decision over it. Certainly that's something that, be worth a broader conversation with them. As far as exploring the mechanics of what we're doing, we don't have to have a motion to that effect. If, you know, if you say, look at this issue, we'll go look at the issue. But, that's my last conversation with Jeremy.
Well, if the county, if we have a meeting with the county and they, let's say, direct the TDC, I don't know what they're gonna direct them to do. Or is the county willing to pay for it, or they wanna pay for half, and then we're back to the control issue somewhat. So there's a lot of things we got to sit down with somebody and discuss, and ultimately the TDC is gonna wanna put some of their things on there, and that's fine. But still, who's gonna control the keyboard that links to the computer to the sign? And so, that's just another fly on.
And I understand, you know, by us going out just looking into this, it may antagonize some people, but I would hope it wouldn't. They would say, we're just doing the best thing we can do for the city of Port St. Joe. That's what we're up here to do, the best we can do for the city of Port St. Joe. And by going out and inquiring about something like this, if they get antagonized about it, now I don't know what to say to them. You know, we have this right to do this.
Sure we do.
You know, and like I said, it has nothing to do with the bashing yesterday, whether it was bashing or not. That's not it. It's just that I wanna know why we can't get some money off some bed tax. I mean, it's in the city limits. And I guess Panama City saw that too, and that's why they got their own. I'm gonna be in some conversation with some of those people, you know, in the next week. But I still think it's a good idea to have staff look into it.
Yeah.
See what legal things we have to do, and I know we gotta get a board and a director, whether it can be an all volunteer director too, I don't know. Maybe we can find somebody that'll
And there's
volunteer
certain
to be our
strings,
director.
certain strings are pretty tight strings, I think, on how you can spend that money.
Sure,
So, that's would be good for the staff
right.
to check into.
All right, any other discussion?
I just have one, and I think, you know, as a bed tax collector as well, I also see, you know, what we get for our bed tax dollars. And I wanna say this publicly, that I think that Jennifer has done an amazing job at promoting our community. However, I would agree with all of you here that are we getting our fair share of what's due? Now, I've been informed recently that they are doing things for us. I think, Jim, a year ago, you asked them to clean up at one of the parks, and they said that they would do that with their staff, clean up the bathrooms out there at George Core. Was that?
Last summer, they did help out a little bit with cleaning up during the high season, the height of the season last year.
That was brought up, something about painting the signs. They've done that for us. I mean, again, does that equate to the percentage that we should do, or are
You
we
know,
doing
they have a
anything?
sign that's on our property.
Oh, yeah.
Over there where they got the TDC building.
Sure, that's a nice TDC building in Port St. Joe.
That's y'all's building, and all we actually have here, but, we didn't give you that land with the signs there.
All I'm
We
saying
never
is,
asked them to move that sign, so.
if we could get some sort of agreement that we can get our fair share, maybe they put money into our parks and rec, I think there'd be a lot less heartburn about what's going on, but I do feel like, you know, even as a bed tax collector, I have to pay extra money on top of that bed tax to be a premier partner. I'm the one who's paying them, you know, and that doesn't seem fair to me. You know, a restaurant can pay the same amount of money, get the same promotion as me, and they don't pay taxes. So, I've got some problems with the way they're operating, and I don't think the city's getting their fair share. But I don't think they've totally alienated us, and I think they want the relationship to work. But it's not just the TDC board, they're an advisory board, and it's ultimately the county commission that makes all those decisions. But I would love to see some sort of an agreement. We're gonna have to work with them. I think that what we're gonna find out as we research our own TDC, there's not a whole lot, and if you gotta pay for a director, if we're collecting $100,000 or $150,000 in the city of Port St. Joe, is it worth it? You know, you're gonna burned through a lot of that on hiring a director. And then 30% of what's left is required to be spent on marketing if the new tax bill passes. It doesn't leave a whole lot. So I'd rather play ball than build a whole new field.
Well, I don't think we're doing away with them at all, we're just exploring our options.
Jim, do they, let's say Scallop Festival, that's our largest event of the year, and, we spend a lot of staff time down there, overtime, during those 2 or 3 days. Do we get reimbursed from them for that time?
No, sir. Usually our contribution to, say for instance, Scallop Festival is in-kind services. Usually we have a few staff members working. We make sure that we work with Waste Pro to get trash service taken care of.
We have extra
set up,
police
clean up.
coverage at that time also?
Sometimes
That's
now
paid.
the police sometimes is paid, yes. That is paid for. That is off-duty police officer.
So, I mean, that's my question, that's some areas like Dave was saying, that they could put money in our parks and recs, and Scallop Festival, Christmas on the Coast, all that, anytime we have to have overtime extra, that would be something I think that's allowable under their rules.
Right.
And, so, yeah, I think we need to talk about that.
Well, one more thing I wanna say before we call for a vote or do whatever we're gonna do is I've been told the number was somewhere around $250,000 a year, and I may be way off, but if it's $250,000 a year, I sure as hell don't think that painting a few signs and cleaning up a little bit of grass
It's getting enough.
is getting enough. And that's all I'll say.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, it still stands? We have a second? Call for the vote, all in favor of letting them do this, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion passes 3-2.
And the motion was explore the option of creating a bed tax exclusively inside the city.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was just asking what the motion was, that's the
That's
motion.
what it was, yes,
about
sir.
the motion. Thank you,
All
sorry.
right, thank you. Jim, what else we need to talk about today? Is Bill?
Sir?
We need to talk
No,
about-
sir, that was for your information as
I saw
to,
it.
as to the previous slide, sir.
Guys, what are we gonna do? We made no decision on the sign at all. Are we gonna wait and do this and look at this, in 2 weeks at our regular meeting? Or
That's what I
see
would
what we got
like to
that
do.
comes in?
And we got to meet with them this morning.
When
The
is
meet-
it?
Yes, sir, the meeting is scheduled for Thursday, the 24th at 3:00.
And this, we'll see what they come with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's
And I'm
my-
okay with that.
That'll be after our next meeting.
Thursday.
Do we wanna explore the option, just to, ask Jim to, throw out the idea of 50-50 split on the purchase of the sign? Of
I'm fine with him exploring it. Just looking into it.
a different design that's presented.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have a problem with it
there's
at all.
absolutely nothing wrong with the First Baptist Church sign, but I would want us as a city to have a little bit,
Well,
a
I
little
think the facade around it, or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the.
I tell you what, I'd go a little further than that, so let's let Jim sit down with Don Butler and Commissioner Ashbrook spoke about. Let's see if we could come to an agreement on getting some more money for the city, even if we don't go to the TDC or the city. I don't wanna abandon, I
And
think,
that's not my thing,
If we
guys.
can
I
work
feel
it
like
out.
we really tried to work.
Exactly. I think
Three,
we can
four
work it
occasions
out.
I was called by somebody that was over the TDC and, not over, but one of the members that said, I think we have an agreement. And every time we got the same agreement.
But
6
at this
months,
point-
y'all, and I feel like they put their nose at us. And we were told yesterday that one of the comments that was made that if we don't play ball, then they just won't give us any more money. I don't like that.
I'd like to hear that tape. I'm sure we would like to sit down and
There's
listen to
one
it.
person at that meeting, that statement was not made,
You
Okay,
didn't hear it?
not that statement.
okay.
So can we at least add to this mutual meeting on the agenda item to come up with a TDC expenditure agreement with the city?
absolutely, that's what I was
That-
talking
yeah,
about.
that- I think
that
that
makes
needs to
a
be
lot
on the
of
agenda.
sense.
Yes,
It does.
absolutely,
That's fine.
absolutely.
And with publicly going out to look at it and investigate our own, I would hope they wanna work with us.
Exactly.
Because it will take a chunk of their revenues.
And all we want is our fair share.
That's it. That's
But
all we're
I
asking.
don't think that'd take any of their revenue, it's just gonna be on top of what.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So let's say we have our own, it's gonna be on top, so you're gonna have to charge more at the hotel. when you
No,
take-
no, it's not, it's not, the county won't collect it if it's in the
Right.
city.
Yeah, collect it.
Takes theirs out.
That's
I
correct.
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Yep, take theirs out.
That is correct.
Alright.
And, you know, I know they give us a little money for fireworks and stuff like that, but
Hey, we
when you're talking the
appreciate
kind of
everything
money
they've
they're
done.
talking about, that's chicken feed, really. And,
Mr. Mayor, I wanna thank you for calling this meeting today. I think it was important that we all sat and talked about this
well, I was
today.
maybe hoping someone from TDC would be here.
Well,
I mean, what going?
and we've yet to see,
David, I'm glad you showed up. Honestly, I think the city deserves more percentage, and that's my whole basis for being, I'm telling you.
I said,
I've said that the whole time.
if we don't do something, we're doing our citizens of the town wrong. We need to explore all options, and make all money come into the city that can possibly be coming into it.
no, we got
That's not worth the trouble if you have to.
something big in that lighthouse down there.
Now, before we go, Mr. Mayor, I do have one last item.
What's that?
And it sucks, because I know that we're all busy during the day and taking on extra responsibility, but Commissioner Thursby, you know, they're telling me that we're not represented as the city. I mean, and if, I get it, I don't wanna be a part of that board just because it's in my industry. But I mean, if you can't, I would love for someone to be there. And even if I just go and not appointed, I think that we need some good representation, especially so stuff like this. Like you said, it's been going on for 6 months. We could have squashed it right there. hopefully.
Well, yeah, I'm not ready to step off the board yet unless this board, wants to appoint you without that.
Just start
No,
going.
I don't
Just
feel
start
like
going.
that, I will tell you this, I feel like that, they wanted me to be there yesterday.
Yeah.
For an ambush,
You think?
and that was part of my reasoning for not going.
That's all, I mean, that's all I had. That's been brought to my
And the
attention.
first three
I don't
meetings I
feel
went to, the chair wasn't there.
That's all
I
good.
deal with that every day.
All right. Anything else we need to talk about, Jim?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, motion adjourned.
Second.
All right, we out of here. All right, man, y'all have a good weekend. Hope you're coming on, win tomorrow.
You gonna tell that to the play?
Yeah, thank you.